Have you ever wondered who Hannibal was and why he is considered one of the greatest military tacticians in history? This tale begins in the year 247 BC in the powerful city-state of Carthage, located in what is now modern-day Tunisia in North Africa. Hannibal was born into an esteemed military family. His father, Hamilcar Barca, was not just a man of the house but also a prominent Carthaginian general. Hamilcar was a significant figure in the First Punic War, a conflict against the burgeoning power of Rome. It was in this atmosphere of conflict and strategy that Hannibal spent his formative years, developing his understanding of the world through the lens of military strategy and political maneuvering. The influence of his father was profound on young Hannibal. As the sun set each day, his father would share tales of his battles, the strategies employed, and the victories achieved. These stories weren't just bedtime tales for young Hannibal, they were lessons, training sessions that equipped him with the skills he would later employ on the battlefield. Hannibal's upbringing was not all about war and strategy though. His father also instilled in him a deep-seated hatred for Rome, a sentiment that was widespread in Carthage following the First Punic War. This feeling was not just a product of the war's outcome, but also a result of Rome's increasing power and influence in the Mediterranean region, which posed a direct threat to Carthage's dominance. Hannibal's early education, both formal and informal, was focused on preparing him for the role he was destined to play. His father ensured that he learned not just about warfare, but also about leadership, diplomacy, and the importance of understanding one's enemy. This comprehensive preparation was instrumental in shaping Hannibal into the formidable leader and tactician he would become. Thus, Hannibal's early life was steeped in military strategy and a deep-seated hatred for Rome, setting the stage for his future campaigns. But how did Hannibal, a young boy from Carthage, ascend to such heights of power? Born into a family of warriors, Hannibal Barca was the son of Hamilcar Barca, a prominent Carthaginian general. From an early age, Hannibal was immersed in the art of warfare. His father, recognizing the boy's potential, took him under his wing, honing his strategic mind and fostering an indomitable spirit within him. The young Hannibal learned not only the mechanics of war, but also the art of leadership. Hamilcar Barca's influence was profound, shaping Hannibal into a leader who inspired loyalty and devotion. He instilled in his son a sense of duty towards Carthage and a burning desire to challenge Rome's dominance. These lessons were not lost on Hannibal, who carried them as he carried his father's name. When Hamilcar died, Hannibal was thrust into a position of power at a young age. His father's mantle was heavy, but Hannibal bore it with determination and resolve. He took his father's place, not just as a military leader, but as a beacon of hope for the people of Carthage. It was a daunting responsibility, but one that Hannibal embraced wholeheartedly. Hannibal's strategic genius was evident in the way he commanded his troops. His innovative tactics, coupled with his charismatic leadership, earned him the respect and loyalty of his men. Hannibal was known for leading from the front, sharing the hardships of his soldiers, and always being the first into battle. His audacity and courage were infectious, galvanizing his troops and fostering a sense of unity and purpose. Hannibal's rise to power was not merely a product of his birthright, but a testament to his father's teachings, his own strategic brilliance, and his unyielding resolve. He was a leader who commanded respect, a general who led with audacity, and a son who carried his father's legacy with pride. With his father's mantle on his shoulders, Hannibal was ready to take on the might of Rome. What were the military campaigns that earned Hannibal his place in history? One of the most audacious feats in military history was Hannibal's crossing of the Alps. Leaving his mark on the annals of warfare, he led a massive Carthaginian army, complete with war elephants, over these treacherous mountains. The journey was fraught with danger, from the harsh weather to hostile tribes. Yet Hannibal's determination and strategic brilliance saw them through, bringing his force into the heart of Italy, a move that caught the Romans completely off guard. Once in Italy, Hannibal wasted no time in engaging the Romans. He won his first major victory at the Battle of Trebia, where he outwitted the Roman legions with a combination of tactical ingenuity and the intimidating presence of his war elephants. This was followed by an even more impressive victory at Lake Trasimene, where he used the landscape to his advantage, ambushing and decimating the Roman army. However, it was at the Battle of Cannae where Hannibal's tactical genius truly shone. Despite being vastly outnumbered, he employed a daring envelopment strategy. Hannibal allowed his center to be pushed back by the heavy Roman infantry, creating a crescent formation. As the Roman troops rushed forward, they were encircled by the Carthaginian wings, resulting in a catastrophic defeat for Rome. Hannibal's use of war elephants was another hallmark of his military campaigns. These massive beasts were a source of terror for the Roman soldiers who were unaccustomed to such foes. Hannibal used them to great effect, charging them into enemy lines to create chaos and fear. For 15 long years, Hannibal occupied southern Italy, winning several victories and keeping the mighty Roman Republic at bay. His innovative tactics outsmarted the Romans time and again, providing a masterclass in military strategy that is still studied today. However, it's important to remember that Hannibal was not invincible. His eventual defeat at the Battle of Zama marked the end of his military campaigns, but not his influence on history. Even in defeat, his strategic brilliance was evident as he attempted to use his war elephants to break the Roman lines, a move that could have turned the tide of the battle had it succeeded. Despite the odds, Hannibal managed to hold his own against Rome, cementing his legacy as a military genius. But like all great figures in history, Hannibal too had his downfall. What led to this great general's fall from grace? Hannibal, the Carthaginian general who had defied Rome with his audacity and tactical brilliance, met his first major defeat at the Battle of Zama. This was not just any defeat. It was a turning point that marked the end of the Second Punic War and the beginning of Hannibal's downfall. For 15 years, he had been a thorn in the side of the Roman Republic, occupying southern Italy and winning several victories. But at Zama, he was outwitted and outmaneuvered by Scipio Africanus, a Roman general who had learned well from Hannibal's own tactics. After the war, Hannibal returned to Carthage, a city battered and bruised by the conflict. He found himself in the midst of political struggles. Despite his military genius, he found politics to be a different battlefield altogether. He enacted reforms to restore Carthage's fortunes, but faced opposition at every turn. The political climate became so hostile that Hannibal, once the city's savior, was forced into exile. In exile, Hannibal found service under Antiochus III the Great, the Hellenistic king of Syria. He served as a military advisor in Antiochus's war against Rome. However, history repeated itself. Antiochus was defeated, and Hannibal once again found himself on the losing side. Hannibal's end was as tragic as his life was storied. Betrayed by those he served, he chose his own fate rather than be delivered to his enemies. The man who had crossed the Alps with war elephants, who had brought Rome to its knees, took his own life. In the end, Hannibal's life was a testament to his genius, his bravery, and the fickle nature of power and fortune. So how has Hannibal's life and military career shaped our history? Firstly, Hannibal's military genius has left an indelible mark on the annals of warfare. His audacious crossing of the Alps with war elephants, for instance, is a testament to his strategic brilliance and courage. This daring maneuver has been studied and admired by military tacticians throughout history, setting a precedent for unconventional warfare. Secondly, Hannibal's 15-year occupation of southern Italy significantly influenced the course of the Roman Empire. Despite his eventual defeat, his relentless campaigns forced Rome to mobilize and strengthen its military might, which in turn led to Rome's rise as a dominant global power. Moreover, his influence extended beyond the battlefield. After the war, Hannibal enacted significant reforms in Carthage, demonstrating his commitment to societal progress. Even in exile, he served as a military advisor, sharing his wisdom and expertise with others. Hannibal may have been defeated, but his legacy lives on, reminding us of the indomitable spirit of a man who dared to challenge an empire.